Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live with today's market wrap up and SPY rally. You can say somewhat continues, albeit a few pennies above yesterday's high. But you can see here green days from the opening, at least today and the last 3 days here. But an inside day. We didn't quite take out yesterday's highs, so we're still nowhere near taking out that or that. And coming into Friday, looking at this weekly here, you can see that bearish engulfer, and then we took it right back, and this is known as a piercing pattern, but we'll see if we can really rally hard and go bullish engulfing tomorrow. But for now, inside day, and one of the things I wanted to point out, we're talking about during the day, is we watch the inside 60s, because that's an equilibrium in the futures, and we want to know about that. And you got this inside 60 here to start the day. Pops up off of that inside 60 here, goes up again. Not big, huge rallies, but we certainly want to know about that because you can get big moves like this here. You can see this engulfing, opening 60 back in here, stuff like that. So you really want to watch that stuff, as well as trying to watch it versus the other broader averages to give you an idea of if there's confirmation or not. And so if we go to the 15 SPY, we were watching here, and this is an inside 15 here. You can see that inside 15 bar, and it broke to the downside, and at that time it was still inside 60 and needed to break these to break the 60, but it didn't do it. It went down, and the question was this 15 going to break and then the 60 break? Well, if you look at the QQQ, at the same time, QQQ stayed here. It was too strong to break, and so at that time we were looking for the SPY to reverse back up, and this is what I call a reversal strategy. When you have an inside bar that breaks and then comes back and closes back into the range, forming a hammer or a shooting star right here. So this is a reversal strat 15 right here that triggers the up 60 up break. And the cues showed us that that was going to happen. So we're an inside day for the SPY, middle of the range, and a lot of earnings. I'm going to get to that in a second. We also have an inside day for the transports. And watching these trannies like a hawk, here is an inside day here to see if this triangle is going to expand all the way up into this. If I show you a 60 that I've been drawing for quite a while, and if you've seen some of my videos recently, you've seen this. Going back to here, a little bit further back. Here, this triangle here broke. It got above it. Tried to use it as support, then broke through, but it made a higher low in here, and then triangled really good right back up to the top of this, and we're right in here as an inside day. So really, the transports, as I've been saying recently, it's put up or shut up time because with the oil dropping as it has, the transports absolutely have to rally here. So if we're looking at stuff like Union Pacific, it's going to be an inside day. Of course, we're watching all the airlines. You see American Airlines doing nothing on this. United Airlines still hanging around, and so those things really should need to go. And we saw stuff like the truckers, ODFL, coming up, and they certainly should because they use crude oil. Speaking of crude oil, USO is an inside day, and so it's trying to hold some support down in here on your weekly, this stuff in here. It's inside month and down, so we've been trading it from the short side all month because of this. But we're running out of month, and it's testing the lows right now, so we'll see how that inside day goes. And that's also causing an inside day for the XLE. And so the question is this just a push off the lows within the greater downtrend, or is it going to be up sideways and maybe more measured move? Because even up into this here would still be well within the realm of the downtrend. And still a nice move. So we'll be watching that inside day there, over there. So this morning we had earnings on Facebook, and talked about what we're going to look for here. And when I talk about watching the inside 60 and how the triangles act, you can see this triangle here and this trend line here, and you can see as it hit the low, it went inside 60 and went right back up. This morning it hits it to the tick, comes back inside 60 and back up, and that was a lot of nice entries. And besides that, but on a very simple basis, worked perfectly there. I also talked about watching SGYP this morning, and there was a gap in reverse as well. Once again, on a 60-minute, you can see this reversal strategy. This inside 60 countered by going out and coming back in and falling apart. If you go right out to the start and you went into the opening 5-minute range, you're going to see this. Inside 5 right here. Inside 5 equilibrium, boom, never stops out. If you missed that one, another inside 5. So there's a lot of good entries in SGYP for the gap in reverse. We also had SKX. the big old ripper and really putting the heat on them. And a lot of people have been looking to fade this, and you can see once again the triangles become support here and hammer, and then the earnings come out and gap, and the first 15 minutes, what do you know, inside 15 are right there for you, and another one here if you missed the whole thing. I can blow that up for you, you can see it a little better. Inside 15er, inside 15, and right back up. If we go to Wynn Resorts, talked about that this morning, and Wynn came flying out the gate here, and you can see it just gapped, and then when it took out these highs, you know there's going to be stops here, here, and here, and that got it going. Not the greatest thing in the world, because still you can see this triangle in here. Nice move for the day. How far it's going to go, we don't know, but you can see how this triangles like that. But during the day, there was some nice stuff in there, I believe, to get in there. Let's see. There's a 15, maybe a 60. Inside 60 here, late. There's that 30. I think that was a 30 in here, wasn't that? No, that wasn't quite 30. Anyway, if we go to the 15, you get the idea. It was a nice run, and even if you missed most of it, here's 103, inside 15, and bam, up to 104. Very nice there. NXPI, talked about that gap as well. And that tried to go gap in reverse, and even had a 15 down here, but right here, you can see where it held, where it needed to. Right off of this. Business in here, comes back down, tries to break it, goes inside 15, and off to the races, right back up with the heels of a strong market. You can see in the weekly how it came back testing all this stuff down in here. So that was a nice move as well. Nutrisystems and TRI, there's another real nice ripper there. And once again, gap up, inside 15, inside 15. So a lot of nice entries in that as well. If we go to FIS, never even heard of this thing before, but boy, once they start taking off, you can find your way in. And how are you going to find your way in? Let's go down to a 5er one that's really moving. And these are all stuff we were doing during the day. So there's a nice 5er up in here, even if you missed it all up here, inside 5, and boom, there's another buck out of that. So there was some nice moves out of there too. We also had VMW perking up during the day. And VMW, you can see this 5er here. Once it started going, this inside 5, give a nice entry for a little bit more. It's also inside 3 if you're watching shorter term right here. So you had over 6 minutes to watch for that setup, and then bam, right here. Stops are going here, here, and here, and we're going to take them. Bam, right like that. That was another nice one. Let's see, Baxter was another good one today here too. Baxter. And this is important when you're looking at all the charts. Sometimes people get caught up in the vortex of the intraday chart, but you want to know when something's about to go engulfing. And so here you can see gap down, and as it comes up into here, yesterday's highs, bullish engulfing over 38.76. And so if we know that, then we can look at our 15er here and go, here's an inside 15. The high of that is 38.99. That's at that point, it's bullish engulfing, and you get another signal. You also had a 15 here to start sending it up, measured move. So there's a way to get in there when you're looking at stuff like that. CMPR, another good one on the downside, Puker, and this is the reversal strat, another reversal strat. And the other way that this works on an inside bar is if it takes it out and then takes the other side of the inside bar during the same bar. So that goes reversal right here in the direction of the price, which we wanted in, and never look back, inside 15 there. Excuse me. So another good one there. Another thing that was working today was Kors Purses, KORS. And you'll see what a nice rally this has had, albeit in general been going down for a very long time. But once again, you get this trend line here, inside day here, and that's where it reached an equilibrium, where at that point it was a rest before more selling, or the selling was exhausted, and you can see that inside day and back up. That's nice. So you can watch something like a Coach, which is an inside day today, see if that can join it there. Another group that's been lagging here, I want to keep an eye on because it's a lot of them shot up because of a lot of merger activity, is HMOs. You can see the Cigna acting horribly, going to the lows on this. And you can see Humana, these things not participating at all. So keeping those things on the radar. If the market starts to fade and there's no news in a lot of these stuff, no buyout, they go right back from whence they came. For tomorrow, earnings are out in LinkedIn. And LinkedIn shot up and is now falling apart. Got as high as 250, I believe, now down to 230. And so it's right back where she started. And wah. So on that, we can also have Amgen. And here's that reversal strat daily. Inside bar countered with opening and closing back in there. And Amgen right now is up at 174.50, so just taking all this stuff out. So we'll be keeping an eye on that with more bios. You've also got earnings from EA Sports right now trading 69. EA comes here. 69 going to bring her down into here. Down, sideways measured move into the earnings. It's had one heck of a run, though, if you look at the monthly. And so, not the end of the world there either, but we'll see. We're going to play these gaps just like I talked about the ones earlier in the video. We've also got FEYE out with earnings, and FEYE going to affect the cyberspace. And FEYE presently trading 44.20, a loser. So, if we take a look at the daily, here's 44.20, just taking out these lows a little bit. So we'll see if it can get back up into this or if it's going to expand lower. And certainly watch all the other ones. You got EXPE out. EXPE up to 114. That's going to affect your price lines and all that kind of stuff. So they thought they knew the earnings, and they did, and it collapsed during the day, but now got a gap all the way back up into here. That should be very interesting. So, yeah, we're coming into a Friday. It's the last day of the month. It's hot summertime everywhere. So we will stick with these earnings gaps, and certainly watching the S&P to try and break that inside day with the transports and the oil and how all that plays out. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live with today's market wrap-up.